Israeli War Cabinet greenlights military push into Rafah over Biden's objections, report. Israel's War Cabinet has approved expanding its Hamas battle plan to include Rafah, a move that could soon see Israel Defense Forces enter the densely populated city, which the Jewish state claims is the last bastion for the terrorists. The decision came fewer than 48 hours after President Biden, dismayed by the rising civilian death toll in Gaza, told CNN that the U.S. would withhold munitions shipments from Israel if it invaded Rafah. Two sources with knowledge of the details claim Israel's adapted war plan constitutes a measured expansion that won't encroach on Biden's red line on Rafah, Axios reported. Israeli forces seized control of the Rafah crossing, the supply route between Gaza and Egypt, on Tuesday. A majority of the War Cabinet also reportedly told Israeli negotiators working on hammering out a hostage exchange and ceasefire deal with Hamas to continue their efforts despite the expansion of the area of operation approved Thursday night. Hawkish cabinet ministers Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, who have urged Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to invade Rafah, voted to suspend negotiations, the outlet said. Hamas envoys and Israeli leaders met in Cairo on Sunday for another attempt at reaching an agreement, reportedly engaging in in-depth and serious discussions on a deal that would see a number of hostages released in return for a 40-day ceasefire, according to The Guardian. But negotiations broke down when the sides couldn't agree on terms, including Hamas' insistence it would reject any agreement that doesn't involve a permanent end to hostilities, a position Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said presented worrying signs that Hamas does not intend to reach an agreement with us. Both sides withdrew from the negotiations without scheduling another round of talks. Solar storm hits Earth, producing colorful light shows across Northern Hemisphere. Cape Canaveral, Florida, AP, an unusually strong solar storm hitting Earth produced stunning displays of color in the skies across the Northern Hemisphere early Saturday, with no immediate reports of disruptions to power and communications. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration issued a rare severe geomagnetic storm warning when a solar outburst reached Earth on Friday afternoon, hours sooner than anticipated. The effects of the Northern Lights, which were prominently on display in Britain, were due to last through the weekend and possibly into next week. Many in the UK shared phone snaps of the lights on social media early Saturday, with the phenomenon seen as far south as London and southern England. There were sightings from top to tail across the country, said Chris Snell, a meteorologist at the Met Office, Britain's weather agency. He added that the office received photos and information from other European locations, including Prague and Barcelona. NOAA alerted operators of power plants and spacecraft in orbit, as well as the Federal Emergency Management Agency, to take precautions. For most people here on planet Earth, they won't have to do anything, said Rob Steenberg, a scientist with NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center. The storm could produce northern lights as far south in the U.S. as Alabama and northern California, NOAA said. But it was hard to predict, and experts stressed it would not be the dramatic curtains of color normally associated with the northern lights, but more like splashes of greenish hues. That's really the gift from space weather, the aurora, Steenberg said. He and his colleagues said the best aurora views may come from phone cameras, which are better at capturing light than the naked eye.